So this is a quick video to explain the loading procedure for Mosin-Nagant, why it is so horrible, and why literally anything else, like this Mauser, is really nice. So, I think it'll be helpful to start with a comparison, a baseline, before we get to the Mosin. It would be just a standard Mauser. This one happens to be a Swedish Mauser, M96, made in 1901, for anybody who cares. So normally, when you load a Mauser, any Mauser, could be 1903, could be this, could be a Car 98, Spanish Mauser, Turkish Mauser, whatever, it doesn't matter. You get a clip, looks like this. I have the little nubs. It's holding onto the cartridges there by their rims. Put it in the clip guide, take a thumb, squeeze them right into the magazine, clip auto ejects, go with the bolt, and you fire. These are, by the way, dummies. They have the flash holes plugged. Now that was really easy. It was all just in one slick motion. Squeeze it with my thumb, and then the clip auto ejects will, once I put the magazine floor plate down, there you go. Now, why was that so easy? But if you want to load a Mosin, it's pain, or just it doesn't work at all. That time I happened to get very, very lucky. Now, there's a couple reasons for this, and they have to do mainly with the magazine. It's not so much the clip. Now you can do this with, I have some Chinese reproduction clips, and I have some genuine Soviet production ones, and they're different. The retention is handled differently on the Soviet ones. They just kind of fold the corners there. And the lips hold on the cartridges, whereas on the Chinese ones, they don't do any of that. They just have these tabs to hold them in place. Now, if we look at a Mauser magazine, it's a double stack, double feed magazine. So you've got the follower, and then the feed lips for the magazine are machined into the receiver. And that's all there is to the magazine. Follower, spring underneath of it, feed lips. And the bolt strips around, feeds it. This is not how a Mosin magazine works. The rifles are very long and quite heavy. It's been a long day, I'm quite tired. A Mosin magazine is a single stack, single feed design. You got the follower, it just moves straight up and down. When you feed the rounds in, they just go in one split motion. They don't stagger out. And that staggering on the Mauser magazines actually makes it very easy to load. That is not so with this. And the reason for that is because of... Get out of there. This little guy right here. He is one part that does three things. He is the interrupter. If I load a cartridge in there, that's the feeding position, but if I push it one more down, then the interrupter is holding it down there so that when I put another round on top of it, this, you saw there, the hint of things to come. That is the feed position, and down below it does not put any pressure on it, so it just kind of sits there until the bolt closes it. This turn the bolt down actually disengages the interrupter so it can release the next cartridge to feed. But that interrupter, as you just saw, is also the ejector there. That little guy hits the rim of the case, kicks it out, and is also the top feed lip that controls the feeding. So this one guy doing many jobs. Now, unfortunately, because of the design of the cartridge, this guy has to have, I'll try and get some light in there. Yeah, three-handed job here. It's this little notch in there, in the interrupter, that allows the rim of the cartridge to slip through there, push it out of the way easily. Now you have to push this out of the way when you're loading, because it's a single stack. You can't just stagger the rounds until they go in. Hit the tripod there. Okay, so all that has to happen when you're putting the clips, putting the rounds in, put the clip, is line up with that notch. Easy, right? Well, the clip makes that not very easy. Because when you have a round of cartridges and they're staggered like this asymmetrically, and you'll see why in a couple minutes, just clip that in, zip it right well. It wants to rock back and forth like that. And when it's rocked back like this, he said this does not hold them in the best angle. So you want to have rim over rim. So if they're staggered asymmetrically like this, put them in. I've seen it there. So when the clip is pushed back like this, then the rims are lined up with that notch in the interrupter and they can go in pretty freely. Unload procedure for Mosin. But since the clip doesn't want to sit in that position all the time, if you treat this like a Mauser clip, you try and push it. Oh, now it's forward. It's aligned and it doesn't want to go in. And this supposedly bomb-proof Soviet clip has failed us. So what does this mean? Well, that means there's two ways that you can properly load a Mosin. Both of them depend on your clips being loaded asymmetrically, because when they're loaded asymmetrically like that, the rim is forward, and that helps align it when the clip is tilted backward to get it lined up in the window and the interrupter correctly. So that's why when you're loading Mosin, you want to have them like this. So there's two ways you can do this. There's the kind of hard way where you try and treat it like a Mauser clip, but kind of keep continuous pressure on the clip to keep it tilted backwards, not forwards, backwards. But then when you get to the bottom, you usually end up putting force inadvertently, tilting it forward, unless you shift your thumb, and then they're all in the magazine. But it takes a lot of finesse to keep backward pressure on the clip. And then once when you get down to the bottom, you kind of don't have a choice but to really contort yourself to get the rounds in the magazine properly. Or there is an easier way that is not so dependent on rotation of the cartridge. I'm going to do it again, staggered. But what you do, and you might have heard this around on forums. I know I heard it before actually trying this. I just didn't understand why it worked. Take the cartridges. What I choose to do, you assume maybe you'll say to grab the tip of the cartridge and then, push down with your thumb. But what I like to do is take my two fingers, peace sign, hold them like that, grab the bullet that way, and then you just push the rounds straight down with your thumb the whole way. As you saw, that was pretty easy peasy. To demonstrate how easy peasy it was, I'm going to do it again. Sorry for having to reload the same dummy rounds. I only have 5 of them. All right. Oops. All right. So, asymmetrically loaded in the rifle, and then push straight down. Now they're all in. That was pretty slick. Not as slick as a Mauser, but good enough for communist work. And this also works with the reproduction Chinese clips. These horrible, shitty ones that supposedly never work. them in. One smooth motion. Well, one motion. I wouldn't call it smooth. So, that is the secret. Has nothing to do with these. It is all in the magazine. Has to do with that little notch in the interrupter and the rims of the cartridges. So, thank you for watching. Hope that was helpful or at least interesting. Now you're not too bored. Goodbye.